Hoo 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 hoo. Hoo 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 hoo. Water tastes like wine, baby. Energy drink does not taste like wine. Well, maybe that's an idea. Wine energy drink. Is that just iron brew? I don't know. Anyway. We're back to storytelling. We got a good number of people we still gotta storytell to, so we'll work on it. Also, we gotta go west. We haven't really gone west. The farthest we've been is New Orleans. Yeah, tell me a cool story. Handyman the Loan Sharks. Oh, right. It's bullshit. Rick Handyman full of his treasures with a drill. Yeah, nice. Dead passenger outside the stalled train. It's not bullshit. And you jumped to death from a train. Oh. Do love a good vagrant song. Alright, let's see. Yeah, I'm doing it, man.
When everything is left here, all that remains is a peculiar peace. It's hard to keep it, especially considering the panic that comes on sometimes. Sometimes when it's hard to breathe.
It's a lot of, yeah, I don't know about this half-soldier look, buddy, but, you know.
Truthfully, the leg being gone is bad enough. But the way people look at you, that's when I miss being whole the most. So anyway, tell me a funny story? You seem like you know a few good ones.
Oh, goodness. Violin Con is funny. We've determined that.
Yeah, Paul would have liked that one. They say that God has unconditional love.
Oh, yeah.
I don't doubt it. But my love for him is not. Know any good jokes? I'm not so good at telling them anymore.
I don't feel like I do have any more jokes, but maybe I do. Was this a joke? I think that was a joke. Yeah.
Wish I could tell that one to my sister. Freedom? It'll come. In time, I think. I think one day the government will give me back the freedom they took from me.
I wouldn't count on it, buddy. Sorry to say.
They've squandered my loyalty, my life, and my family. But one day, I think I'll see that cash back from them. Call it a daydream, but I'm willing to try. Paul used to collect scary stories. Do you know a good one?
Yeah, I might. Let's see. I think the Gris one was a scary story. Yeah.
Sounds like one of those scary stories Paul would have told me. Luck? I don't know how to think about that anymore. When did my luck run out? How many other men got scratches from that rusty barbed wire? How many yards of wire on how many deadly fields led to the scratch on my leg, the one that took my own body from me, that made me a burden.
Not a burden, dude.
You know any good jokes? I'm not so good at telling them anymore.
I am all out of jokes. But I can tell you about Little Ben. Oh, that's not a joke.
I don't mean to be rude, but civvies don't understand what real tragedy is. Choice. Well, I was well suited to killing, but I didn't want to. I don't know how many children will grow up without fathers because of me. Who really wanted the war to happen? Were they really that cruel?
Profit motive, man.
Tell me a happy story. Something to make the world seem kind.
Gender criminals, baby.
I liked that one. There's some hope left for you too, you know. Don't give it away too quickly. The future's already here, friend. Nothing I can do about it, nothing to stop it. As much as I would, as much as I want to, I can't turn it back. The night's over. I should be getting ready to go. I'm headed up this way next. The journey's long, but it's not cruel.
And all the
There's
way
cruel
up to
people
the
in the world,
corner of New
but the
York
road
there.
and the mud don't mean anyone any harm. The little flowers in the ditches don't. Look for me, maybe. Perhaps we'll see each other again.
Yeah, I'll head that way. Here we are in Vermont. Beautiful Vermont. Am I going the right way? Yes, I mostly am. Gotta go a little more south, but we'll get there. No, it won't let me go into Canada. Here's a story I don't have.
You come across the two musicians on the corner, playing no louder than a murmur. The blind one to the left doesn't sing so much as moan. If we are willing, he will teach us to love our brothers, to dance and sing. It continues. We dream of his seat in heaven. Around our heads his flowers ring. O Prince in heaven we sing for rapture. We all must perish, our flowers and our names. But the flowers in our Prince's kingdom, they shall not perish, they shall remain. There is a joy there, and there is friendship. For our passage we shall sing. We dream of his seat in heaven. Around our heads his flowers ring. They stop and look at you expectantly, nodding at their empty hat.
Your song was terrible.
You throw them a coin. Obliged, they both say, and sing the song all over again.
Yeah, give me some cash, thanks. See the fire way over there. I'll get there. Do 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 do. Buffalo. I think I was a buffalo before. Story upgrade. Haunted mill. Oh.
Still walking too? Then you and I must have a little more in common than I thought. Do you also get a kind of peace from the road? I do. It's a long walk, but it's soothing in a way. The terrors still find me, but out here, where I've got a reason to move, I don't feel so helpless. Tell me a happy story. Something to make the world seem kind.
Do I have one of those? I don't know. All right, the communist metal workers. That's happy.
I liked that one. There's some hope left for you too, you know. Don't give it away too quickly. Trust? I never really considered trust an issue till I got back and my leg was rotting. I didn't trust the doctors. I didn't trust my sister Jessie. But once the leg had to go, she actually helped me take care of it. I could actually trust her. Did my mistrust cause my problems? Should I have had faith all along? So anyway, tell me a funny story? You seem like you know a few good ones. Yeah, Paul would have liked that one.
I don't really feel like Little Ben's story is
Well,
funny at all, but
I was
so
well
worked.
suited to kill him, but I didn't want to. Who really want? But anyway,
Sad stories, probably. Like the last born buffalo.
oh come on. Home, well, what heartless greedmonger decided what plants get to be beautiful and what plants are weeds anyway?
Yeah, it's true.
Who said that peony has cash value, but a dandelion is worthy of being torn from its home? Do you know any happy stories? Hopeful ones? for a moment there. Just a moment. I felt better about it all too. Family? It all comes back to Paul. If I wouldn't have lost him, I wouldn't have lost my home, my job, my life. My family thinks I could have saved him, but they weren't there. But if they were right, know any good jokes? I'm not so good at telling them anymore.
I mean, I doubt I do.
I don't mean to be rude. The future's already here, friend. Nothing like before the war, after the war. But remember, no matter what happens to you, you will always have the solidarity of the road and the earth. They will never deny you their company.
Yeah, I guess so. Ooh, Johnny Appleseed. Yeah. Knew that was where that one was going, but finally got there. Let's see. Yeah, the horse with the eerily unconscious rider, yes. Okay, let's see, where are we going now? We gotta go way out west now. Illinois. Tennessee, Mississippi. There's Cassidy in Iowa. I guess I'll head that way. Washington, Richmond, Jacksonville, Boston, Cleveland, Ohio. Let's go to Cleveland, I guess. We're setting off west. I wanted to ride. Oh. There we go. Yes, give me a ride to Chicago. Pierre, sure. South Dakota. Dang. Alright, well, that's fine. Oh. Just a small corpse in the coal train.
A hurried little girl collides into you with a wheelbarrow full of hay, nearly knocking you out of your shoes.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
You nod, but the way the girl fusses over the wheelbarrow, was that apology meant for you?
You lost, friend?
Lost? Me? No, not at all.
She stands up taller and squares her shoulders, projecting an image of adulthood so stiff she looks about to tip over.
But I guess I could use a little help. Can I ask you something pretty, please?
Yeah, of course.
Well, I found this critter, but my daddy won't let me keep it unless I take real good care of it.
Relating this dilemma has put her on the verge of tears.
Do you know how I can be the very best pet owner in the world?
Food and shelter.
The girl bursts into hysterical laughter, like she just heard the funniest joke.
Well, I don't know how to feed it when it don't have a mouth.
The laughter fades, and her look of worry returns.
Any other ideas?
Just lots and lots of love, friend.
She smiles so bright.
That's all it takes? Gosh, I already love it so much.
Just a moment there, he says, shaking your hand. I'm Paul Dalhart from the Republican Herald. You may have heard of it. Syndicated in 6 counties.
No, I have absolutely no idea what you're talking about.
Well, no matter. But listen, you may have noticed a vocal few out there, I call them naysayers, who throw up their hands and fly the white flag as soon as life gets a little tough. But wouldn't you agree that it's never been a better time to live and do business in this country?
But no, that's 1,000% incorrect.
Ha! Pessimism, negativity, faint-heartedness. He claps his notebook shut. If there is to be an end to the great American experiment, it'll be your attitude that writes it, not mine.
Okay, well. Oh, Salt Lake City. That's a long train ride. I mean, I assume I need to go there eventually, but... Yeah, what the hell? Let's go.
The steady spin of the lasso is hypnotic. Help me out here, says the man. I've been hunting this horse a long time. Extra pair of hands to make sure she doesn't get the better of me.
Why this horse? Why this one?
She belonged to someone who wronged me. Butch slipped out of this world before I could square things between us, but damn did he love this horse. He grins. If she bucks real hard, haul on the rope. Buy me some time.
What do you do with her?
He's dead. His old crew, though, they're still around. They'll bust a gasket when they see me ride in on his horse. His hand hovers over the handle of his knife. And then he grins. Let's get this done.
I'll let you murder a horse, dude.
He ignores you or doesn't hear. The lasso loops around the horse's neck on the first throw. The rope's in your hands before you realize he's put it there. He slips smoothly onto her back and grips with his knees. She fights, though, bucking hard enough to jar him loose.
Whoops.
He slips, tumbling into the dirt, and narrowly avoids being trampled under her heels. The man rolls to his feet, pulling the knife.
Fucking hell! You stupid or just got a death wish?
It's time to run.
Bye. Oh, Pecos Bill. It's bullshit.
The railway was a fast route between two towns, but the oil which promised to make each town rich was never there. The track died fast. The citizens, like the bird, survive on pickings. The vulture gouges at a cow's jawbone, a piece of paper trapped under the skull. Your motion disturbs the bird, takes off with an air of disdain. The buffalo is long dead. There was no meat left. It lands again, not far across the track. The note tears as you pull it free. I can't wait longer. Ran out of food.
Mary, I can't wait longer. Ran out of food, so had to hunt. I hate it. I said we'd leave for a new life, but not one like this. Guess you've changed your mind. If you still want to marry me, I'm going north. I love you.
The rider did not make it far. Some 200 yards across the track is a body on its back. It stinks. Marks in the dirt indicate someone tried to move it. Its arms are folded over its chest. A once white handkerchief has been used to cover the man's face. The clothes at the front are bloody and torn where they've been pecked by birds. There's no obvious wound that hasn't been inflicted after death. When you roll it over with your foot, the killing blow is obvious. A shotgun blast to the back. At short range.
Ain't fixin' for to join your faded line.
They've taken over a booth at the roadside diner, tables strewn with papers and forms. He's in shirt sleeves, revolver hanging loosely
It's
off
gotta be
his
Bonnie and
chest.
Clyde, right?
She's in a moss-green dress from 2 seasons ago, and a felt hat that's begun to warp. You slip into the booth next to him.
Tell me again where you saw him last?
He asks.
He was in the car with me. We were just driving down the road.
So where did you stop the car? He asks. She sounds exasperated.
I told you, I never did.
They have the same accent, same drawl from somewhere in North Texas or Oklahoma. But his is subtler, although he's been trying to shake it for a few years.
I'll just keep my eyes to myself.
You try not to disturb them, but in truth, they barely know you're there.
We were going 40 miles an hour when he vanished. All I saw were those damn lights.
In the lingering, baffled silence that follows, you find your cue to leave.
Huh. I've seen people in strange lights in the desert, okay? Sounds like I was wrong.
was right from Tulsa when I pitched into the sand. My legs gave out, my body lacked the strength enough to stand. The horsemen moved upon me then, their leader to my side.
So we got some new music out here.
And I think the time has come to saddle up and ride.
That's right, it's time to settle up and ride. How'd you know? Got on its hip. Big iron, big iron.
They come to claim me now, I had my time. Had my time.
Shiprock. That's Four Corners Monument there, isn't it?
Ya Hatadhin Halani. Good evening, Shikis, my friend.
Good evening.
Come, let me show you how to sprinkle corn pollen. First, reach into the medicine pouch and pinch the tahadinhi. Then sprinkle it on top of your forehead to ask for wisdom. Touch the tahadinhi to your tongue to bless your voice. And sprinkle the remainder to bless and guide the path before you. With beauty may I walk. With beauty before me may I walk. With beauty behind me may I walk. With beauty above me may I walk. With beauty all around me may I walk. Chickus, my friend, can you tell me a story that looks to the future with hope?
Yeah, let me tell you about a gender criminal.
The Dine are like that too, strong in the face of adversity. That story brings me hope. The future. We plant seeds in the soil after the last frost in the spring to prepare for the year ahead.
It's true.
In this way, we are continually nurturing in order to create harmony for the uncertain days ahead. Shikis, my friend, can you tell me a story that brings strength to those who hear it?
Strength to those who hear it. Okay, maybe. How about my new family with the mink?
That was a good story. It pleases me to hear about people taking strength from each other, or from the land, or from themselves. Ah, family. Within Dine culture, we have relatives of blood and clan that help to maintain balance and implement a moral code for good health. This clan system is useful because it helps remind us to be kind, thoughtful, and loving to one another. Chickus, my friend, tell me a funny story. I am sure you hear many on the road.
A joke. Okay, I got the violin con joke. You want that one?
It's good to laugh. I love this land as though it were the tender smile of my ancestors. In the morning, it awakes with me, and by night, the darkness folds me under a tremendous glittering map of the stars and constellations.
I mean, that's fair.
Chicas, my friend, I need to laugh. Can you tell me such a story?
I have very few jokes, so I'm probably going to tell you a bad one. Like the buckets of poison. Is that a joke? I don't think so.
Some kinds of sadness must be resisted, or it will feed on you. and become a tool against you. Change. Every day the world is reborn. That is why the sun sits beyond the mesa and the night settles on the land of our ancestors. When the colors fade and darkness descends on the world. Yet in the morning, the color returns and all the animals come out again. Change is a constant rhythm that we must embrace in order to maintain balance in our lives.
If only I was better at embracing change. I'm very bad at it.
Chicas, my friend, I need to laugh. Can you tell me such a story? And you enjoy this story. It is too dark for me, Chicas. Wishes come true. Well, before I was born and before their marriage, my mother and father each dreamed of a little small child running around what would later become their hukage. There is a powerful strength to the world that comes in our sleep. Listen closely and it will guide you. Ah, the sun is rising. I must leave soon. Tomorrow's journey is this way. Another night done. But think, what does one take with them after a day in this world? Some nights I lay staring at the hole atop the hukan, where the chimney peers out into the night sky. I watch the stars slowly move. Sometimes a streak of light and whispers from ancestors. Always a feeling of gratitude for what surrounds me in this world. What are you thankful for? Where do you come from? Where are you going?
Oh, she seems cool.
The jackrabbit flees across the desert, and the house cat follows. They're equals in speed and finesse, a miniature portrait of lion and gazelle. This drama of nature captivates, even though, if you're honest, the whole spectacle's mostly just adorable. The hare turns as it lands and carries the momentum forward. The house cat reacts too slow, skids past, putting distance between the two critters. The hare races past you. Are those? No. Couldn't be. This jackrabbit has antlers. Huh.
Hell yeah, jackalope.
Your mighty whoop fills the jackrabbit with determination. It turns and thrusts its antlers at the cat, little teeth bared like needles. The house cat hits the brakes and bolts the other direction, twice as fast as before.
Fisherman, where to find the best catch, yeah. Talking seagulls who tell fishermen where to find the best catch. Okay. Maybe I already put that one away.
An excitable man in dirty suspenders waves you over to a cave mouth.
Partner, do me a favor, friend. Can you, inspect that cave there? Got 2 bits with your name on them.
I love to inspect a cave.
The cave interior is nice and cool. There's a whole bear hide, treated and tanned, lying on the ground. It'll be a good spot to rest for a time, if not for the human skeleton. Back of the skull has a hole about the size of a quarter. You find a slip of journal paper inside the mouth. Normal bones, which Floyd the respectable prospector ain't touched nor seen much, merely stumbled upon during honest business.
Fair
The
enough.
man jumps out of his suspenders when he notices your return.
Friend! Oh, gave me an awful scare. Making me think you got lost in there. Hey, you see those bones? How do you think that fella croaked?
It's playing bears around.
The man cups your hands and screams in rapture.
My sly friend, you didn't tell me you're a detective. I'd have never deduced that in a million years. Lord in heaven, I'm blessed. Blessed!
After he pulls back, you feel something inside your hands. It's a shiny silver coin. Great.
Oh, hell yeah. I got some cash.
Slowly he turns. His eyes don't quite make it to yours. His whole body keels back over the wooden railing where he perched and down into the dusty road outside the saloon. Now you see the gunshot and the trail of fresh blood that leads back inside.
Hey, friend.
Kneeling by his side, you offer platitudes you know are no good. His hand takes yours, and into your palm he presses 2 silver coins, slick with blood. Eyes, he pleads, the last of his life rushing from his lips.
Yeah, sure. I'll pay the ferryman for you.
You carefully lay the coins over both closed eyes, trying as respectfully as you can manage to fasten them in position. And you move on. Before you turn the corner, you look over your shoulder. He's still there. There's a rustling in this cactus patch. Down where the spiny paddles disappear into the sand, something is writhing around. At first, you think it's an antelope, perhaps, fallen among the thorns. Oh, fuck. That shrunken human skull whips around to stare at you. And those hands, God, like talons. They scrabble in the dirt.
No.
Before you know it, you're flat on your ass 20 feet away. The nude, withered corpse continues peeling himself out of his shallow grave.
Help me.
He shouts.
Damn cactus grew on my coffin.
Yeah, okay. I'll give you a hand.
His fingers are so slight and delicate that you can scarcely believe your tugging doesn't rip him clear off. Soon he's free, but too fragile to stand.
Fuck this.
He rasps. He buries his head in his hands, his skull hitting his palms with a papery slap.
So what exactly happened, friend? My new undead friend?
I've been cursed 2 times. Once to live forever, but the second time to die. How'd you think the 2 magics fought it out, huh? I'm dead for sure, and certainly alive.
What will you do?
Keep trying to kill myself? Tried getting shot.
He points to the ragged constellation of holes in the side of his head.
Paid someone to chop my head off. but he chickened out. Maybe I can grind myself up and I'll just be some kind of thinking dust? Yeah, wouldn't mind that.
Well, that sounds fun. I'll make you into some cool thinking dust.
He's clearly delighted. He extends one leg like a dry stick of wood.
Got a knife? No? Rub a stone on it or something.
You oblige, gripping his ankle in one hand and going to town on his toe tips with a sharp rock in the other.
I hate to tell you, it's not working, friend.
You continue for a few minutes in complete silence.
Please stop.
He finally blurts.
God, this isn't gonna work. I'll forget it. I'll just figure it out myself.
Good luck, friend.
Thanks.
He shrugs, an uneven jerk, ending with a crack as the tight skin along his shoulder splits.
Say, how far to the nearest combine harvester? Think I can get there if I roll up like a hoop snake and let the wind push me?
Yeah, probably.
Damn. Well, take a hint from me, which is, don't fuck with a witch or any kind of anybody who does witch stuff.
You beat it toward the horizon.
This is just good
Glad that you
general,
didn't have to compare curses with him.
good general advice.
Buen día le dé Dios, stranger. Come, sit with me a little. To rest is a simple remedy, pero es importante. And the first step en la curación. Everyone needs healing. It has always been this way. Sometimes it's a toothache, and sometimes more. Resting the mind is difícil.
God, don't I know it?
Walking or sitting, running or sleeping. Always the mind is working, pensando.
Yeah, pretty well.
Oh, please, tell me a story sobre la esperanza and all the good in this world.
Hopeful story. Okay. Well, have you heard about the gender criminals?
What a good story. Esperanza. It is the most important, I think. Do not worry too much for el futuro. We work for it, sometimes too hard, and forget to cherish el presente. Easier to say than to do. But tell me, what is the most frightening thing you have seen on your travels?
I'm telling everybody about the grist, but it keeps working, so.
What a good story. Like what mi hermano used to tell me as a girl. La fortuna de la vida. They come in good and bad. Life is hard. Sí, pero it is good too. When las brujas play with the fate of others, I do what I can to set it right. Do you have any frightening stories? Have you seen the work of las brujas on your travels?
Frightening stories, huh? How about the dust monster?
Tu vida es. I would not enjoy these things myself. My place, well, as a healer, I must be both like a farmer and a vaquero. The plants that make las curaciones are best when wild. So I must be wild and free like a vaquero, but attuned to the land también. Do you have any frightening stories? Have you seen the work of las brujas on your travels?
How about the haunted mill operated by ghosts?
What a story. Mira mis manos. They are shaking. La familia is everything. But a family is big. All the children have all the children. The world is big too, and la familia, it spreads out.
Yeah.
But tell me, what is the most frightening thing you have seen on your travels?
I like frightening stuff. How about the negligent parents?
What a miserable story. Tristeza. It needs to have a point. Todo cambia. Everything changes. Whether it is good or bad is up to each person. To despair is to cause sickness in yourself, into espíritu. You're kind to listen to una vieja talk of nada. I have learned mucho en mi vida. Now, I wish to share more than ever. Perhaps you want to hear this old woman talk again? I hope so. The road takes me this way. If your journey takes you there, look for me.
I will. But first, let's go to Santa Fe.
The handsome two-story adobe house sits at the corner of two main thoroughfares. A for sale sign tucked into one of its windows. An older man in a shabby suit rushes up to you. "Don't go in there!" he shouts, waving his arms frantically. "That house is haunted!"
Haunted?
The man droops. "Well, cursed. My former student built it. I taught him everything about how Santa Fe has its own climate, its own culture. My architecture exists in harmony with nature. And then he started his own business and took all my best clients."
Former student.
He snorts. "More like a son than a pupil. Or so I thought. I taught him how to work with adobe. I even introduced him to his wife. This is how he repays me? As though our history meant nothing?" He scowls at you, wanders off.
Ooh, I can go Vegas. Where's Cassidy? Cassidy's over there in Iowa. And there's a guy up there in Colorado. Well, let's just keep going to Texas, I guess.
Motor's running, but nobody's driving. Flies buzz the windshield. Beyond the van is a driveway, paved through cut green grass to the top of the hill. There you see a squat, rustic mansion. The sun turns your back damp.
What's up with this Beetle?
It's a
Volkswagen
newer
van.
model. You don't recognize it. Inside, you see food wrappers, bottles of beer, and half a discarded cheeseburger. You come around to the windshield, where something incomprehensible is written in big, sloppy letters, backwards, as to appear correctly in a mirror. In lipstick, the word piggies. You glance back and forth between the message and your own reflection in the windshield. And on the latter glance, you see a large figure hovering behind you. Then you feel something hard. Then you see nothing.
Ow.
You awake, face down in the crisp green grass. The back of your neck tender with sunburn. Your head still tender from the blow. The van is gone. Tracks carved in the dirt lead back toward the road. You check your skull. Still intact. Your wallet, however, is less so.
VW bus parked and empty.
You fear your feet will sink into the dry emptiness of the Great Basin. Every step is a syncopated crack of dried ground and salt underfoot. Even the vultures avoid this wasteland. Was there a road you were supposed to be following? Your throat has gone numb. You're not sure you ever had a tongue. The lonely iron-colored rock rising from the ground is the first thing you've seen in days. The air around the stone shimmers drunkenly in the roasting heat, distorting the figures standing before it. A rider, white from the tip of his hat to the slender legs of his horse. The buttons on his coat glint silver in the sun. Dust doesn't cling to his pressed white trousers. You're tired of ghouls and very near done with psychopomps. Time contracts in the heat. Suddenly, he stands all too close. Some croaking noises clatter out of your mouth as you beg for water, but he doesn't hear you. He's not here for you. You slide down to your knees as he rides on towards someone else. Ahead, on what passes for a trail, another horseman, face down on the ground, ragged and empty. His horse dead a few steps before the spot where he was pitched into the sand. The white rider canters toward him, slow but unerring.
Yo, at least giving me a drink of water, jeez. Amarillo, Texas.
Bienvenidos. Come, come, sit with me. Sit with una vieja curandera. It is safe conmigo. Few brujas would dare attack una curandera.
Well, that's good.
There are some of these witches. though they are strong enough to contend with una curandera, or foolish enough to try. I work mainly with las curaciones por la gente, pero I have more than un poquito de práctica with fending off the curses of las brujas.
That's good.
It is not for una curandera to take una vida, but I am not afraid to hobble las brujas.
Nice. Take him out.
But tell me, what is the most frightening thing you have seen on your travels?
Do I have more scary stories? Ghost stories, does this count?
What a miserable story. Tristeza. It needs to have a point about family. When una bruja completes her pact with el diablo, she forsakes la familia that give her life. It breaks una familia to lose a daughter to the way of las brujas. Her community. Y las brujas, they become jealous. Do you have any frightening stories? Have you seen the work of las brujas on your travels?
Not the gunfire on the streets of Chicago.
Okay. Do you get joy from telling me this? Sadly, I have bitter memories. Long ago, I began teaching la curación to a woman who had promised, but she left for the sea, renouncing las curaciones as witchcraft. No soy una bruja, niña estúpida. Oh, please, tell me a story sobre la esperanza and all the good in this world.
Hey, the good in the world, huh? Okay. Let me tell you about communists.
What a good story. Esperanza. It is the most important, I think. Trust. Las brujas put their trust in el diablo in exchange for their power. It is unholy, and the only time one must try to change the belief de una persona. Es difícil, very dangerous, pero es por el bien del mundo. Do you have any frightening stories? Have you seen the work of las brujas on your travels?
I cannot believe I'm running out of frightening stories. Maybe the coyote and possessed toy bone man. Yeah.
What a good story. Like what mi hermano used to tell me as a girl. Why I travel? I don't know who was. La bruja that cursed my daughter. But I felt when she came in my pueblo and when she left. She did not show herself the coward, but I will find her. I walk la tierra to find an apprentice and to find la bruja that dare curse una curandera. But please, tell me something that will make me laugh.
Alright, you want a joke? There, the box and the strange creature is a joke.
And that story will make Miss Niñas laugh too.
I will remember it. Freedom. When I heal, I give freedom to others. So my calling to be una curandera, it is all about freedom.
Good.
There is una distinción muy importante between una bruja y una curandera. Both have the talent. A little different each, but it can be trained towards a way of life. Las brujas choose to hurt. Las curanderas choose to heal. Ay, estoy cansada. Very tired. Always I am alert for a woman with the talent of la curación. And una bruja intent on destruction. It is a hard life. So much responsibilidad. It wears on an old woman. The journey take me this way next. Where will you go? I hope we will meet again. There is more I would like to tell you about the life of La Curandera.
Good. I would like to hear more. Beautiful woman who broke the hearts of musicians. Oh.
Surrounded by fields of corn and rye, a small farm lies fallow. Its tiny stable crumbles into disrepair, and foxtails sprout from its fields.
What's up with this house?
Inside, the sunlight filtering in through two small windows turns to hazy gray shafts in the thick dust that blankets the interior. There's not much in the way of furniture, but on a rustic kitchen table, a handwritten note catches your eye. Never open.
What's up with
It's
this note?
addressed to Martha and unsigned. Her name is written in the stiff letters of a man for whom literacy is more a formality than habit. If you find this, I'm already gone. Don't come looking for me. Rest is scratchy spirals and circles of halfway readable writing about the noises from the cellar and the hunger in the darkness. The cellar door at the edge of the abandoned kitchen calls to your attention.
Clearly, we gotta see what kind of horrible demons down here.
The door is unlatched. The ground below is deeply stained with some dark residue you can't identify. Upon it, only ancient piles of chains and manacles, slowly turning to rust.
Goodness.
The barn and silo have seen better days. One big storm might bring the whole structure down. A man hollers.
Ken? Ken? I know you're here, boy.
He sees you and lopes across the field toward you.
You seen a boy around? About 14?
Have not today, friend.
He sighs.
My boy is missing. I haven't seen him since last night.
He swallows.
He ain't the type to run off, neither. Can you spare a minute to help look? I'm worried sick.
Yeah, sure.
Interior of the barn is dim, even with the great doors thrown open. You check the animal stalls, but find nothing. As you look up to the loft, you spot a gap in the roof. A bit of cloth hangs down. Perhaps a shirt. You climb the ladder and make your way across the roof. A trail of empty beer bottles leads you past a discarded shirt and to the base of the silo. You climb up. There's a hole in the silo roof, a rupture where rotten wood gave way under something large.
Uh-oh.
You maneuver your way along the edge, keeping your weight off the rotted panels. You poke your head inside. He's there, half submerged in the grain. He's been dead for half a day at least. The man's waiting at the bottom of the barn ladder.
Anything?
There's a spark of hope in his eyes.
Yeah, I got bad news, friend.
He chokes back a sob.
I told him not to go up there. I told him.
He looks up at the tower, then turns to you, tears tracking down his grimy cheeks.
Why didn't he listen?
I don't know, he's a kid. Kids are dumb. Also great, but also dumb. That's how kids be. Or so I'm to understand. Oh, got some, like, walking lag. There we go. Let's see if we can fight off these Las Brujas.
Hola, hola. Welcome. Sit if you like. The road is hard, and it's good to see a familiar face. I thought to find a niece of mine in the last pueblo I visited. But her husband, he turned me away. He called me bruja, said his daughter will become un doctora and my ways unwelcome. So I leave, and I do not see mi familia.
Oh, that's hard.
My familia used to be so united, with respect for las curaciones, las curanderas. The times change quickly. Do you have any frightening stories? Have you seen the work of las brujas on your travels?
About the haunted store.
What a story. Mira mis manos. They are shaking. Our past together. My husband. Que Dios lo tenga en la gloria. He was so proud to have won my heart. When la curandera of my village called me curandera for the first time, after I defeat una bruja, he bowed me and also called me curandera. But tell me, what is the most frightening thing you have seen on your travels?
Don't know if I really have any other scary stories. I'll just tell you about my boy Mason.
What a good story. Like what mi hermano used to tell me as a girl. Death began me on this journey. After my husband, que Dios lo tenga en la gloria, died, I knew it was time to leave my village. La comunidad, it changed. And very few who stay would have mi curación. It is my purpose, so I take the road to continue my work. But now, do you have a story about hope? About happiness? And the goodness in the world?
Maybe? I think the heroic handyman's good in the world.
No lo sé. These kind of things sound awful to me. My choice? I choose sometimes not to heal. It is rare that I refuse to give la curación. And always there is a good reason. If a bruja harms herself in her evil arts, I leave it to the hands of Dios. But tell me, what is the most frightening thing you have seen on your travels?
Let me tell you about a cool lady named Dupree.
What a good story. Like what mi hermano used to tell me as a girl. Look, the community of my village used to say they were lucky to have a curandera. Now, I hope fate bring me to cualquiera that needs healing here on the road. Oh, please, tell me a story sobre la esperanza and all the good in this world.
Sure. Let me tell you about a boy named Quinn and his cool dogs.
Mi corazón, that was a good story. Young ones. Always they want to travel the world. They forget that their spirit must travel too, not just the body. Very few youth now go on the journey. Espíritu. And they are weaker for it. El sol has risen. I am sorry, but I must be on my way. I am sad. We do not talk more. I feel muy solitaria on the road sometimes. Next, I'm traveling to this place.
Okay. Well, let's get up there.
If you ever go there, look for me. I wish to tell you more about what it's like to be la última curandera de mi familia.
A group of men across the street from the jail wave you over.
Thank God you're here.
The man is sweating profusely.
I thought George hadn't come through for us.
Another eyes you appraisingly.
Not much brawn on you. You better have the brains to compensate.
Oh, I do, friend. Don't worry about that.
No need to play dumb. It's just us here. We can speak openly.
The sweating man seems impatient.
Your role has changed slightly. You'll still be the distraction, but it's gotten riskier. Davis's fault. We think the guards recognized him.
Hey, I'm not...
No time for that.
The sweating man takes charge.
We got the dynamite. We know the timings. The longer we wait, the riskier it gets. You.
He points at you, then down the street.
Make a scene. If you can involve the police, all the better. Then scram.
All right.
It's too early for the shops to be open, but a car is parked awkwardly outside the grocer's. There are an unusual number of men in the street. Several have the awkward casualness of a policeman trying to look like a civilian.
Well, I want to create a
The gang
diversion.
is risking liberty, perhaps life, to rescue their own. Such loyalty is admirable. You could assist without being implicated. If you cried out in agony, it would briefly catch official attention, and the gang would get an unwatched moment. It might be enough. Your back spasm is convincing. For a few seconds, all eyes are on you. The two officers who assist you to a bench could be clearing the area of civilians or genuinely solicitous about your pain. Either way, you bought the gang a moment in which to plant the dynamite.
Well, that's good.
A sudden recovery might seem suspicious. Boom! Well, that was impressive. You should probably make yourself scarce.
Oh, Coyote would steal. You'd see him smile at her. Oh. Yes, to live by about the aliens. Clearly everyone needs to hear about the aliens.
It's late. The restaurant is closing. You dust your bones and stand up from your bench when suddenly a crowd of rowdy, soot-washed miners barge through the front door. The leader of the pack, a coarse man with blackened brows, announces toward the bewildered chef. "Bring out your best dishes. Me and my boys deserve a feast after that biggin' tonight." "Sorry, we closed," the Chinese chef whispers while raising chairs onto the tables. His answer does not satisfy the pack. Their leader sizes up the chef and steps forward. "We're honest men who don't want no trouble. We got the money, and I reckon you got the goods, so how about it? Bring out your best dishes. We'll eat and be on our way." The Chinese man stops you and whimpers. "Okay, I go make food." The pack leader laughs heartily. "And don't bring us no cats and dogs or lizard pies. The stuff you eat wherever you're from. Bring us the good stuff."
Great.
The Chinese man nods as he hurries back.
Truly a
You
kind
catch
guy.
his placid eyes glancing at you as he goes.
Yeah.
You answer his glance and follow him into his kitchen. The kitchen is almost too clean, with no ingredients left of any kind. He digs through the garbage bin next to the sink and grabs 2 heads of moldy garlic. He then begins feeding the fire while handing the bin to you. "Thank you," he nods. The chef turns away from his station and collects your findings. He then glances at the garbage can, and nods
It's gonna
toward
be
you.
a delicious meal.
Seems like he wants more.
Some slimy
What?
bamboo.
The chef asks quietly as he begins chopping the garbage you dug up.
With some
Good.
shitty green onions.
The chef responds. He tosses the ingredients into the crackling wok along with handfuls of colorful spices. The fire soars. The smoke beckons. The shape of a man, no, a demon, emerges from the symphonic blaze inside the wok. It wears baggy robes and wields foreign scrolls. Long, dull horns grow sideways above its ears. With the heat, the cloves of peeled garlic falls from the counter. With one fell swoop, the Chinese summoner tosses the garlic into the wok and feeds the spirit what it's looking for. The blaze, now satisfied, bows and blesses the contents of the wok before taking its leave, simmering into the smog. "I've never had anything like this before," the leader exclaims. He stands up and walks over. "Mister, I'd like to apologize for my rudeness. This has got to be the best meal I've ever had. What's this called again?"
Uh-huh.
The chef grins confidently. "Chop suey." "Haven't had Oriental food before, but I'll be sure to remember it." He hands over some banknotes, more than enough for the meal. "Thank you. Come on, boys. Let's hit the road." The miners disappear into the night, and the chef begins cleaning up once more. However, you cannot take your eyes off of the leftovers. He shakes his head. "No, don't.
All right.
You dare not desire the forbidden dish. Instead, you walk over to the bin and toss the garbage back from whence it came. Afterwards, you finish helping the chef with the chairs and take your leave.
Haze the miners with a meal of garbage. Sure.
You pass a meadow where migrants have made a campsite. It's been trampled to pieces. A few families are fleeing, running as fast as they can back up to the roadside. An enormous bull stretches himself beside some of their squashed supplies. The bull locks an eye with you and blinks long and slow. The closest thing to a cow threat you've seen in your life. You leave him as spoils.
Kansas City? Is that where I'm going? Honestly, yes, that is where I'm going.
It's long past dawn, but the stray rooster crows repeatedly. Satisfied with its vocal performance, the bird rushes you, flapping. It backs up and repeats the gesture. The rooster is like a tiny feathered goat making a threat display. It struts. It eyes your legs.
Excuse me, friend.
The rooster launches itself into the air, going for your eyes. As you step back, it returns to gouging your shins with its beak. Its crow now is more like a shriek.
All right, I'm coming.
An elderly man lumbers from the nearby house.
Apologies, but this rooster keeps attacking me.
God, don't mind old Red. He's better than a guard dog, but harder to train.
Red rushes at your feet.
Sorry. I can hold him while you get past if you like.
He smiles awkwardly.
Or you could come in, have a drink. Least I could do after he's been shouting at you.
Oh, don't mind if I do.
As you step onto the man's front porch, the volume of Red's crows increases. It lunges repeatedly at your legs, drawing blood through your clothes. Finally, the man grabs the rooster so you can get inside.
Yeah, he's a big softy, really.
Your shins disagree. The tea the man gives you is too sweet, but it's soothing. He gossips about the local farms. Apparently his daughter's husband has a new bull. Red pokes his head by the window. He is watching. There is an ominous clucking just as you prepare to leave. Red is waiting. To preserve your calves, you have to sprint from the house door to the gate. The cockerel's crows are triumphant.
Man, what an evil bird.
Without warning, the dusk blue air colors with the pang of cheap tin and cotton candy. A voice beckons from an alley. Hey, little mouse. Tell me your heart's desire.
Maybe I'm more of a dragon than a mouse, but sure.
At the first tug of noise from your lungs, that buttery voice transforms into a laugh. I like that, baby. Come closer. Come deeper.
Sounds great.
It
Let's do it.
purrs. Through the murk, you can almost make out a figure. Tall as a coyote's story, twice as thin on truths. It wears a broad-brimmed hat, low over glowing pinpoint eyes. There we go. Close your eyes. Close them. Come on, baby. We're almost there. It kisses you. That unholy thing. Stinking of fire and caramel and rust. On the lips, like it were a lover. Almost shy. Oh, baby. You should have told me someone had a prior claim. Come back when you're free, and we'll try this again. You promise me now, okay?
I promise.
It pats your cheek. I wouldn't love your kind if you weren't liars.
A violin con. Oh. There you go. Let's go with the turkey farmer. It's probably a joke.
It is good to see you. My journey is hard and my thoughts are hard. I am glad to see a friend.
Yeah, I try to be.
I often think about mi familia, about how they have changed, about how the world has changed. My niece's husband is not the only one to lose respect for las curanderas. Oh, please, tell me a story sobre la esperanza and all the good in this world.
Okay. About Little Ben fighting against capitalism.
What a good story. Esperanza. It is the most important, I think. My choice? If. But now?
Story about hope. What's more hopeful than the space aliens?
You cannot scare me with this nonsense. I have fought las brujas. I do not scare so easy. Young ones. They very...
What about old Barney?
What a good story. Like what? My autoridad? Used to be that una curandera would command great respect from people wherever she would go. Even a plain old woman would be provided with a bed, food, respeto. Una curandera gives la curación without expecting payment. Now, I find myself asking, no me gusta. Do you have...
Okay, frightening stories. What's more scary than a man shot to death?
Okay. Yes. I am sad. Mi vida, it was so full of people, of good work. People, they forget each other and their old ways. And me. All I have left is la curación for those who will take it. But tell me, what is the most frightening thing you have seen on your travels?
Most frightening thing I've seen. How about the eerily unconscious writer?
What a story. My wishes. Every time I succeed in una curación, I am thankful. I have helped a lot of people in my life. I hope to help more before I go. To Dios. I am the last of my brothers and sisters, the oldest of my family. I should be la doña, head of my family, of my village. Una curandera who has trained at least one apprentice into a curandera. Instead, I am a simple and old woman who wanders alone. My ways, the ways of old, they are being left behind like me. Is it the same for you? Are you being left behind by the world?
Nah, sometimes I worry I am, but I try. Horse tied with a ribbon. Santa Fe, that's a good teleport location. Man, just use Ghosts of Cincinnati Music Hall. Let's see if we can't finish up with Cassidy, and then we'll probably call it for a day. Gotta teleport back to Santa Fe, which is a good tool to get us back out west. Yeah, let's buy some gooey butter cake. Well, that didn't work out too good. That's alright though. Cedar Rapids. What a rapid cedar.
Downtrodden folk have transformed this public park into a shanty town. People wander in and out of makeshift shacks, their homes of cardboard and rusted metal. No one seems to mind the demon who roosts on an unconscious neighbor in broad daylight.
Hey, demon, what's going on?
The demon throws both his hands up. His little wings flap with nervous energy, like a hummingbird in flight.
Whoa, whoa, whoa! Easy there, friend. Ain't hurting anyone here. Just feasting on some nutritious dreams.
Oh, just dreams, huh? Okay.
Yeah. Don't worry about him. Can't move a muscle while I'm perched up here.
The wind carries over the demon's breath, the scent of a lit match dropped in a trash can.
Hey, I can't decide what to eat. Help me out.
Dream of love.
The demon wolf whistles.
That kind of dream, eh? Gonna conjure up a lovely lass or lad, whatever this fella likes.
He rubs his hairy hand all over the sleeping man's face. You notice, moments later, the billowing of pants fabric, the rising, of a telltale lump.
Oh, congrats on giving this man a boner, demon.
The demon throws his head back and cackles, a sound that reminds you of shaking a box of Cracker Jacks.
All right. I'm stuffed to the gills. See you around?
He hops down from the bench and saunters off, whistling, terribly out of tune.
Brain demon playing around with people's dreams. Oh, it's a great story. Father whose ghost possessed his car to drive his children across America. Okay.
A group of mechanics takes their lunch beside a broken locomotive. The welder grins while a reedy girl struggles to lift his tank of gas. It slips between her hands and thuds back down onto the mud.
This is stupid.
She shouts, and the mechanics howl with laughter.
What exactly is going on here?
She thinks she can work with us. She gotta prove herself.
Sneers one of the men.
She wants lunch. She better prove herself.
Booms the welder. She takes it, and the whole crew jeers.
Chicken.
The welder laughs.
Shut up.
The girl cries. She hurls your lunch into the mud, stomps on it, and runs off down the track.
Someday I'll beat you.
She hollers at the welder.
Someday.
Your lunch, alas, is a loss.
Sad.
I'm glad to see you. It's some powerful coincidence that we meet again, isn't it? We're lucky to build a story like this of our times meeting together.
I agree.
The other trip, my journey across the country with Silas, that's the only other story of travel I have. Such a huge story, so clear and purposeful. It shines like a light. I'm just the moth that orbits it. Sometimes I want to hear a sadness that resonates with my own. Do you know any stories like that?
Yeah, sadness. I got all kinds of sadness, man. I'm all about sadness.
Hey, you don't need to try and cheer me up like that. That was some trip. I was certainly sad when it was over. It's an odd thing to have such a memorable and storied time, and then, in retrospect, you wonder if it really happened. All of that, just gone. You could have dreamt it all. You don't have to let that bring you down, though. It's enough for something to exist in the past, and for that to have been good. It's melancholy as hell, sure, but what isn't in this life? Alone, out here. I spend too much time inside my own head. Can you tell me a hopeful story to lighten my mood?
You better believe it. Let me ask you if you've ever heard about some gender criminals.
I like that one. Makes me feel the way Silas used to in the old days. Did Silas ever imagine a future with me? What did a genius like Silas see in me in the first place? He never said anything directly about my work. Other people came to him for writing advice, and he would suggest changes in diction or grammar or tense. But Silas and I usually just talked about the weather. What he taught me was sometimes I want to hear a
There you go. Boy and his dog. That's sad.
That one was like getting locked out in the cold with nothing but your sorrow. I liked it. Freedom. Am I really free now? I don't know what I'll do next, but I'm starting to understand that it has to be something different. I've been on the road for a while now, but this whole time, I've been as trapped as I've always been. My mind, just going in circles, repeating the same old conversation, revisiting the same old places. I catch a glimpse of real freedom now and then. I just need to find the best way to pursue it. I need an optimistic story right now. Something to put a smile on my face. Can you think of any like that?
Optimistic, huh? Yeah, let me tell you about some communists. Nothing more optimistic than that.
That's a good one. We do reach up like that, towards hope. Faith often comes as a variety of hope. Hope for yourself. There's some kind of magic that happens when you're with someone who makes you feel like the person you want to be.
Indeed.
In my old life, I never had the chance to talk about life, the point of things, what I'm supposed to be doing here. If I ever ventured it, people called me a freak or worse. Now in comes this man Silas, who is built of these thoughts. You can see how I believed he was sent from the heavens just for me. Sometimes I want to hear a sadness that resonates with my own. Do you know any stories like that?
I don't think so. How about some poison buckets?
The tragedy in that story, it's real. Have you ever tried writing poetry? When I look back on it, I see how Silas came into my life at a crucial time. It was a time of change. I stopped what I was doing before, working at a company, and was searching for what my real work in the world could be. I wanted to find what it meant to be alive. And then, a miracle. A man who shows me there's a whole other way to live in the world. A way I couldn't have imagined on my own. He seemed so free and easy compared to the way I always got on. It was a hell of a time, that trip I took with Silas. Train hopping, hitchhiking, walking, whatever we could do to get across the country. We talked to everyone, bums and hobos, machinists and librarians, waitresses and cops. We wanted them to show us who they were. Now it's gone, done, in the past. But that's not something I should be mourning, is it? It's something I should be celebrating.
Yeah. Move on, you know? Take the good and make more good.
My next walk takes me up the road this way. Where does your road take you?
It's gonna let me walk across this bridge. Nope. Do I have a teleporter to Chicago? Thought I did, but I might not. Yeah, I don't. Go all the way back to St. Louis to cross, huh? That sucks. finish up Cassidy here. I think I've got pretty well everyone in the east. Just all west from here on.
You want to know something funny?
Why?
I've been misguided the whole time I've been speaking with you.
Oh, goodness.
I was in the library in Seattle and I found Ovid's Remedia Amoris, The Cures for Love. There's a part where he specifically advises against traveling alone to overcome a heartbreak, which is exactly what I've been doing for so long. I laughed, a wild, bestial laugh. They came over and kicked me out. You never know what you'll come across when you read whatever you can. I need an optimistic story right now. Something to put a smile on my face. Can you think of any like that?
Mink and the family is optimistic, right?
I like that
Yeah.
one. Makes me feel the way Silas used to in the old days. I'm done looking for family. It's best not to get too attached to any one group of people. In the end, you'll feel betrayed.
I guess.
I'm not a misanthrope, though. I say only that it's best to keep your expectations in check. There's nothing wrong with being alone, either. It can be nice to be free of ties to others. Sometimes I want to hear a sadness that resonates with my own. Do you know any stories like that?
I'll tell you about a boy named Quinn.
The tragedy in that story, it's real. Have you ever tried writing poetry? Travel. For a long time, I thought I'd continue to wander the roads forever, that there was no other home for me other than this constant motion. Now I think I want to settle down somewhere, maybe at least for a little while. I'm not sure I know exactly why. Maybe I need to tame myself, make use of the energy I've been throwing around everywhere. Or it could be I'm just tired of the way people look at me. Alone, out here. I spend too much time inside my own head. Can you tell me a hopeful story to lighten my mood?
Maybe. Hopeful story. I don't know if I have any more hopeful stories. I don't think I do. I'll tell you about Shaw.
That's a good one. We do reach up like that, towards hope. Authority. Well, one thing I've learned on the road is that so many people clamor for a voice that speaks to them. They want to see a reflection of themselves, but they don't get that. They get something that reduces them, cuts them down to a little morsel for others to eat. That's to say, there's a lot of bad art and writing out there. This country is in a real crisis of bad art. We need to do something about it. Alone, out here.
Make it smart,
Spend
baby.
too much time inside my own head. Can you tell me a hopeful story to lighten my mood?
Do I have any other hopeful stories? Like, I think the molasses story is hopeful.
I like that one. Makes me feel the way
Yep.
Silas used to in the old days. It's been a long while since I truly felt joy. But when I look back on it now, I can see that joy was when I was telling Silas about my poems and he was saying nothing in return. Just watching, his sensitive eyes and silent nods. Maybe I can find something like that again. I finally feel like it's possible. Sometimes I want to hear a sadness that resonates with my own. Do you know any stories like that?
How about Little Ben?
That one was like getting locked out in the cold with nothing but your sorrow. I liked it. Silas made his choice. I hope he is happy. Maybe he and Pauline have something good going on. For a long time, I couldn't stop thinking about finding them in Frisco. I don't know why. To see if they really were happy together? I'll let them be. They'll be driving each other crazy soon enough. It's time for me to go soon. We spent all night long talking. I like that. I feel like I have better things to say now, and sharing them makes me happier. If you find yourself heading out this way, look around for me. I'd like to sit and talk again.
Do I really have to go back down to St. Louis to get over to you again? What have you done to me? Then hitchhike over this bridge. See if someone will just take me right over there. Come on. Gotta be some nice car out here. Cars, please. There we go. Let me out. Let me out. Okay, now you're gonna take me the whole way. Alright, great. That's what I get, I guess. Well, I don't know if that was really worth it, but we'll see. Light and desert with the duck travelers. Oh. The aliens. The
The
aliens
man
are
takes
spreading.
a shine to you. He leans in too close and talks about the true music of the soul people who know him, about the things he's done. Everyone else in the club is focused on the stage, but he ignores it and talks to you.
Yeah. Tell me about it.
He talks about everything. His life, songs he used to play, mentioning names that sound famous and familiar. Clubgoers and musicians alike pat his shoulder as they pass. He is liked and respected here. Perhaps the tales are true, but he talks only to you. Before you can order a round, one arrives, and he pays. With weathered fingers, he clinks his glass to yours, talking once again about his shining days, his best days, how much he means to this culture. Soon, he nods off at the bar. You gather your things and leave. By the door, however, you see a faded old gig poster. You recognize him in the big band ensemble posing there. Younger, smiling brilliantly, sharply dressed. But you cannot remember his name.
Lonely saxophone man. Story level up.
You again. I'm glad to see you. I've been thinking a new way recently, handling my memories differently, living differently beside them. Maybe traveling alone to forget about Silas was exactly the best way to never forget him. I need an optimistic story right now. Something to put a smile on my face. Can you think of any like that?
Sure, what about the tree with the bottles?
I don't think I'm in the intended audience for that joke. It's been a long while since I truly felt joy. But when I look back on it now, just watching, maybe I finally feel. You know any stories that will make...
How about these mischievous ghosts?
That's a good one. I know I don't laugh the way I used to, but I appreciate it. I was a prisoner to my own regrets, to my own hopeless wishes. I still wish Pauline had stayed married to that old man. Still wish she hadn't seen what I saw in Silas, because she took that from me. But that wish doesn't consume me like it used to.
That's good.
For a long time, I knew I was a prisoner of my mind, but I didn't know how to break out. In the end, I had to grasp the chain in my hands and smash it. Nothing more to it than that. Sometimes I want to hear a sadness that resonates with my own. Do you know any stories like that?
Not really. But, how about Petunia the racehorse?
Well, I can find that kind of movie theater story at any stop along the road. It's normal to ponder fortune. It's natural to wonder what things would be like if you'd been luckier somehow. Silas would say, luck doesn't exist. Everything you experience now is based on your past karma. Whatever the reason is, though, it's pointless to dwell on. You can't go back in time and change what led us to be in the situation we're in now. We can only try for something better starting from now. Sometimes I want
true.
to hear a sadness that resonates with my own. Do you know any stories like that?
How about the beautiful woman and the musician heartbreak?
The tragedy in that story, it's real. Have you ever tried writing poetry? The future, I don't know what's to come after all this, but at the moment I can't bring myself to care. The whole time I wandered alone, I lived in the past and put all of my hopes in something yet to come. I need to let go of all of that. I've decided there's no such thing as the future. It's a healthier way to go about this business of living. Alone, out here, I spend too much time inside my own head. Can you tell me a hopeful story to lighten my mood?
Hopeful story. How about twins do murder? That's hopeful.
That reminded me of the kind of thing I used to write in school, just to be shocking. I'm done looking for family. In the end, I'm not a misanthrope. There's nothing wrong. It could be nice to be. When we first met, I asked you why you were on this road, but I was the one who really didn't know why I was out here. Now I'm off again. This time, to find a place to stay a little while. Not sure where that'll be just yet. I only know I want some place where I can see the water and watch trains go by. Even at rest, I still need to be near things in motion. They say the Dharma will end, like all things, and the time of its ending has already begun. So what is there for us in this world? Why should we stick it out here? I don't have a great answer to that, but I feel better than I did before. I loved Silas. I still love him. Love him like nobody else. But everyone goes their separate ways in the end.
Yeah, pretty well.
We all have to wander. See you around.
Well, thanks for the story, Cassidy. Haunted Mill. Whoa. Let's see what my inventory is here. Turns to Chicago. Okay, well, in that case, let's go back to Santa Fe. And we'll pick up here next time as we start traveling the West. Hearing stories and telling tales. But for now, have a great day. Bye-bye.